Hey guys, welcome back to P3 Videos. Today I'm going to be showing you a grenade tutorial on the new Dust 2. I hope you enjoy it, and that you learn new things about the new Dust 2, and the appropriate locations to throw grenades. So this first grenade is going to be for long corner. So if you're on T side, what you want to do is you want to line up your cursor to the edge of this shadow. Then look at the door, go straight up the middle of the doors, and then line it up to about the top of this telephone post. Then you're going to run forwards and walk when you hit the edge of the shadow and throw the grenade. It's important you do a walking throw, otherwise it's going to go over your target. And you see here it falls, goes underneath the veranda, and smokes the corner nicely. Now this smoke is really useful when you're peeking, because it forces the other team to peek wide. And it also allows you to peek without fear of being shot straight away. So say you've successfully smoked off that corner. What you can do if you're really unsure, if you think somebody's still there, is you can throw a flash grenade. Now, like the old Dust map, you can throw a flash grenade through the roof here, and it flashes just as you peek around the corner. It's a really good flash because it catches everybody on site if they're not aware of it. Catches a person in pit too, so that's pretty useful as well. So say you've done both those things, you're successfully on site. The next thing you want to do is you want to smoke off CT ramp for when you get up to it. So what I mean by CT ramp is this area up over here, just in between those two posts. It's really useful to smoke that because otherwise you'll get shot when you're crossing. These things everyone should know already. So what you do is you line up your cursor to just above this light here, level with the roof, and you do a running throw and keep it at that level. If you hit the tooth, then you've done a good job. There's going to be a little bit of a gap here, but that's no big deal. You can get it so there's barely any gap. Just jump when you run past. This is probably useful information for anyone who's, just new to the game. You can always throw two smokes if you really need to block off the whole area. But usually one smoke will do, unless they have a very good AWPer on the other team. Alright, so now we're going to go short. Now the short smoke is a little bit more tricky to do. It takes a little bit of time to get used to. So what you need to do is you need to line up with this line here. After there's a bit of a slope and then this first line on the ground, you want to line up your cursor just right to the corner there. And then you want to throw it at the first antenna on the right of that set of antennas. And it should just smoke off the top of Xbox quite nicely. This smoke's really, really good when you're crossing because it prevents the other team from seeing pretty much anything. They can't see the ramp and they can't even peek underneath it, which is really nice. So that's really going to help you when you decide to go short. Just let your team know. People I'm playing with have no idea about smokes at the moment, so they're sort of just run through anyway. But it's good for you. So now here's another one to smoke off CT. If you want to go through mid doors, you just step back from the box, do a running throw, and it'll land in between CT and smoke off the whole area. That smoke's really good actually for when you're crossing. You don't have to worry. Do your checks. You don't have to worry about getting shot in the back when you're going up to B site, which is really handy. So let's continue our short run now. So we've smoked off Xbox. We'll just pretend that that's still there, and we're going to run around the corner here. And you can throw a few different smokes to smoke CT to allow your team to drop there. So what you can do is you go up to this corner here, aim just above the middle of this, and just do a throw. It should bounce on the top of short and bounce down into CT and smoke it off nicely. Alternately, you can do another throw, which is down here in the corner. So if you go in the corner and you aim for, there's like the first part of the balcony, there's like a gate, you aim above and you sort of dissect these two leaves and you throw it. And it should loop over the building, land in CT, smoke it off nicely as well. There is another variation. You can throw a flashbang. What I do is I just aim at the bottom leaf here sticking out and throw it, and it should flash, and then you can peek as it flashes, checking your spots of course. And then there's the other flashbang grenade, which you just do a running throw at the middle of the side of the ramp there and shoot. Mine was probably a bit low, but you get the idea. You want to throw it so it comes onto sight. Make sure that you get it in the middle, otherwise it'll go left or right, and that's not really what you want to do. So that's all the smokes and flashes for going A. Now we're going to go B. So we're running up onto B site now. When you're going lowers, just make sure you throw your molly or whatever you want to throw down there in the right spot. Aim a little bit lower than you think. If you've done it right, you should get it over the box as well, and that'll stop anyone from coming up the stairs. It's important to get that box, otherwise they can just use it to jump over. So also when you're throwing flashes onto B, you want to throw them a little bit deeper than what you first think. If they've gone all the way around the corner and flashed, then you've done a good job. If they flash out, if they bounce twice and flash, then you've done it wrong. So here's just another example. You want to throw it nice and deep in there, it goes around the corner, and then you can actually run on and shoot at the same time, and not get yourself flashed. You can also set up a smoke wall here by throwing in the same spot. You just need two people to do it, one a little bit higher, one a little bit lower, and that'll set up a wall, which should be fairly useful if you have a coordinated team. Then you can actually peek on site. You only have to check one or two areas, which is good. So that's entry onto B site. Let's say you're on the opposite side though, and you want to get onto B site. Actually, first I'll do the smoke in CT. This is pretty standard. You just throw it at the left bottom corner of the top box, and that'll smoke off the cross for you. You can jump into the smoke and no one can see you from T-spawn, which is good. So we'll just have a look at that. Yep, can't see anything. Wonderful. So that's how you successfully smoke off the cross there. There's another one if you want to smoke tunnels. So say the game's just started and you're on CT. So line up with the top of this building and to the right a bit. So then you don't clip the edge of the tunnel. It should land inside. Yep. And smoke off the tunnel, which is really good. It's pretty useful. Your teammate can then just hide somewhere or watch doors, and then whoever peeks, if they peek, that's my personal favourite spot. There's a little gap here you can get and shoot them with being pretty safe. So here's another flash if you're trying to get onto site. Just throw here in the corner. It should go around and flash. If you get it a little bit better than I did, you'll actually hit the balustrade there, the top of the wall. And that flash is good because it hits pretty much everyone on the site. They all can see it. And it's not a usual flash, so you're going to catch people. And then there's the bouncing flash off the floor here. So you line it with that rock, and then in between these two rocks here, hit the floor, and it should flash. That's a running throw. I'll just show you that one again. So line up with that rock on the floor, and then in between those two rocks, just before them, you throw it into the ground, and it should bounce off the corner and flash, allowing you to peek and shoot anyone on the site. And I think that's it for Dust 2. I can't think of any more smokes. So if you enjoyed the video, give it a like, leave a comment in the section below. If you have any other smokes or flashes that you think are decent on Dust 2, the new Dust 2, I'd really like to hear about them. This series is as much for me as it is for you. Starting to learn the game, I feel it's important that learning smokes and flashes. I have noticed that as soon as I learnt them, I'm a lot more useful for my team, and certainly we do a lot better in my games now. A lot of my games are a lot closer. If I'm losing, they get a lot closer, and if I'm winning, we usually get quite a bit in front. So that's it for this episode, and I'll see you next time on P3 videos.
Hey, we're talking about Australians, aren't we? Oh yeah, they're bad.
I've fallen off. Help me.
Yep, Australians still bad. Nothing's changed in like 10 seconds.
They gotta try and shut me, bro. Kill it. Kill it.
Yep, Australians still suck. Hasn't changed in the last 10 seconds. Hey, wanna know a fun fact? Australians suck.
Oh, I hate you.
And I hate Australians too.